Hey, we're looking at some simple Python programs to get you started. And of course, we'll be working into much more complicated ones pretty quick. All right. So we're going to be talking about the for loop. It's you can use it sometimes to replace the while loop if you want. And we'll talk about that here in just a second. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about this thing called the range. All right, and it's going to be a pretty easy tutorial here, or it should be, on both those concepts. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to be summing up some data. Alright, we'll just call it data. Okay, and alright, so we're going to take, let's see, we're going to take the sum of some data. Let's say, for example. Okay, we're going to take the sum of some data. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is, of course, you should know now what a list is. We talked about it in some previous tutorials. Let's say, for example, we got a list of some data, and we'll just make it real simple here. Our data is 1, 2, 3. Okay, alright, and we're going to initialize a variable here, and that s is going to be what we're going to be summing up. We're going to sum up this data right here. We're going to loop through this list and sum it up as we go, and then print out the sum. But and I think we did this. We have done this before. However, we haven't used the for loop here, and that's what we're going to be looking at. How do we use the for loop? All right. So we have this assignment here where x is going to be, for example, we're going to be looping right through L here. And for example, we'll be going starting at 0. Now remember, these index positions are 0, 1, and 2, and so x will be starting at this position here, and so x will be assigned 1. And 1 plus, and of course 0, s starts out as 0, and 1 plus 0 is 1. So then we get a new s. Right? And then what we'll do is we'll print out, we'll actually be printing out whatever's in this list right here. Okay, our data. We'll print it out as we go. And once we finish going through this list, and then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we will go ahead and print out the sum. Okay, but we're going to make a little divider here so we can divide our data. A little divider to separate the data from the actual sum there. All right, and let s be the sum. Okay. Alright, let's run this real quick. See what we got going on here. Okay, so as you can see here, we went the for loop here. It went ahead, it goes through and loops through this list right here. Alright, so as we started off with the first one, x is assigned 1. So as you can see here, it gets printed off. Alright, but then we go 1 plus 0 is 1, so s is 1, right? Then we print off 1, then we loop back through the list again, we go to the next one, so now this x is assigned 2, right? And so then 2 plus, now remember s was 1, so 2 plus 1 is 3, so now our sum is 3, but we go ahead and print off, as you can see here, we go ahead and print off 2. Alright, we could put the print statement before this assignment here if we wanted to, right? And then we just go through 3, we print off 3, and of course 3 plus 3 is 6, and so then s is now 6, and of course we have now went through all the elements in the list, and so then it breaks to the next line, and we'll go ahead and print off our little divider here, and then of course it says next line, and then we print off the sum. So it's pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. Now what we could do is we could actually, we're going to use this guy, and he's real simple. Very powerful. Actually, let's do 4. Alright, and we'll just show what this thing does. Now you can actually put the range here if you wanted to. You could type in all that stuff right here. But we're just going to go ahead and assign it to a variable and then put that variable right here. Alright. Okay, let's see what this does. That's okay. We don't have to comment this out. We can go ahead and leave it. It's not going to hurt anything. Alright. So as you can see in the range R now, this actually created a list is what it did, right? I mean, we can't see it, but it created a list and assigned it to R, okay? And of course we could see what's in the list, 1, 2, 3. Now you notice there's a 4 right here, and it doesn't print out a 4, so it stops. It doesn't use the end one right here, okay? Starts with this guy, but then stops and doesn't use the end one. Now let's say that we put a 6 here. Let's do that. Okay, so as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Add all those up and you get 15. And of course, there's actually a formula. I should go ahead and state it there. There's a formula for summing up n integers, as you can see here. So in other words, there's 5. So n is the number of integers in the sequence. So you have 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 times 5 is 30. 30 divided by 2 is 15. Alright. Thought I would just mention that. Okay, now you could also do this. You could do a step. This will actually skip. It will skip an integer. So as you can see here, we have 1, 3, and 5. Notice it skipped it, right? So it's listing all of the odd numbers, I guess you can say, and then adding them up. So you could actually just type this in right here if you wanted to, or just go ahead and assign it to a variable. All right. Now we used the while statement. We used the while statement, and in the past, and we could actually use the while statement here if we actually wanted to. Okay. But we would have to we'd have to make sure we'd go through and count. Let's see if I've got time to do this real quick. So just kind of comparing the while statement with the for statement, we're going to say C is, let's see, equal to, what is it going to be equal to? Okay, so we've got to be able to, we're going to go ahead and use this guy right up here. Okay. Also, my brain's. I guess we could say 3. There's 3 elements. There's 3 elements in L right here. Yep. C is equal to. Okay. Equal to C plus 1. All right. I don't know if we're going to have time to do this. This might be a project for yourself here. We've got to be able to go through and count each, or pick up each one of these pieces of data right here. In other words, we'll have to pull that out. And I don't know if I've talked about this or not, but whoops. Right. Okay, so this would be like C of 0, starting with 0, and then it would loop through C of 1, and it would go all the way to 3. I don't know. We're going to run this. It may not be. I'm going to end up running out of time. Oh, we got a syntax error. What actually did that syntax error say? Oh, X is not defined. Yeah. Where's X? Oh. L of C. Whoops. We're going to run out of time here. Oh, list out of range. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, and 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3. There it is right there, and then the sum is 6. I'll let you figure that out. All right. Okay, so we're over here at Python checking it out. We were comparing, and I'll see you in the next video.